Hope you guys are doing good tonight. I see Doc is the only one here so far. Let me go on and get this one here shared out. And all right. Hey, Willem. Good to see you, bud. Danny. Sorry I didn't have time to read your message, but I was already starting the countdown on this one, but I'll read it here in a bit. So, what did you guys think of the premiere? I uploaded a video on the YouTube channel singing Bel Air Tower. Looks and Guns hit single Blue Scoot Boogie. That's a good song. That's a good song, Steven. Paranormal Mountain. Good evening. Again. Thank you. Thank you. I worked almost all day yesterday on it, and well, up until about 10 o'clock this morning, so another 5-6 hours on it this morning. And then I took a crash course in premiering videos on StreamYard, which was fun because those of you that know me know that I'm a complete and total technotard, and I've got to watch like 5 or 6 videos to figure out the simplest things on a computer. So I did, however, find out there's a way I can actually be hosting the live stream and play the video at the same time and make it real fancy and stuff. So that'll be my next study course. It was a very, very good investigation. You're welcome, Willem. Yeah, it was a great location. I mean, I along with the other guys can't thank Danny enough for it. It was an amazing location. Much like most alleged haunted locations, you get people that go in there and they get a lot of activity. You get people that go in there and they get no activity. You get people that go in there and get just the right amount of activity. And when we started off, it was just little teeny tiny things, a click or a pop, or you thought you might hear a whisper or feel something move past you, but it wasn't anything like really major until we got later in the evening. And when Mark and I had to leave, oh, thanks, Doc. When Mark and I had to leave at midnight, Tommy and his crew were just starting to get really good activity in the spa room, going up the staircase to the sauna and everything. They started getting some really good activity, but you know, us family dudes, we have to bolt out and be home to get up the next morning. So, but it was, I can't wait to see Randy's video on Randy's Real Paranormal. I can't wait to see Tommy's video on Tommy Amongst the Tombstones. I'm sure they've got some very cool, very cool activity. Yeah. Old man hours. Gluck, gluck, gluck. All right, Doc. Yeah, I know. It's what, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock your time. It's time for you to get in bed. You have school tomorrow. Talk about old man hours. 5, it's 5 o'clock in Washington, and he's got to go. Hey, Terry. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Now, there's a man right there, you guys, that puts on the overtime. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, 8 minutes till one, and there's Chris hanging out over here in the U.S. with us. We're moving to Missouri in a month. Got to get ready. Yeah, you're only an hour difference from me then, bud. Hey, Beth. Good to see you, sweetie. But yeah, if anybody has any questions about that investigation, feel free to ask. You know, that pretty much the whole reason I wanted to do this second stream after the premiere, um, because, well, I hadn't figured out how to actually host the premiere and be on the screen with it, then continue the premiere afterwards. But I'm learning tomorrow. Yeah, you're definitely a night person, Chris. That's for sure. That is for sure. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, comments, anything, feel free to ask. I'm in here, Tommy's in here, Danny's in here. So one of the three of us could probably answer just about every question you got. Only people who have passed away in the house are Frank and Mary. Only 17 off 1K. Cool. Very cool. We'll get back there again. We broke 100 tonight. We've gone up like 12 subscribers today. So we're going. Frank died of a brain hemorrhage stroke. Oh, wow. Any idea what Mary died of, Danny? Stomach cancer. Terrible way to go, that's for sure. Then again, dealing with grandma after her stroke and everything, I think back then when Frank died, it was probably 10 times worse. They didn't have half the medication that they do today, and I can't imagine what a stroke or something was like 100 years ago, 110 years ago. Do you want to come to our Christmas live on Saturday night? Um, that's a very good possibility, Chris. I know that I've discussed with the guys about doing like my premiere tonight, then a investigation aftermath video tomorrow night, and then somebody else releasing theirs on tomorrow and doing a investigation aftermath video on their channel on Thursday night, and then somebody else releasing theirs on Friday and doing a. So I don't know. I've not heard any confirmation yet from Randy and Tommy yet when they're going to release their videos. But as of right now, I would say yes. I would say yeah, sure. I'll join your Christmas. I'll even come in my little red suit with my white beard on. They called it apoplexy, basically a stroke. Damn videos, a giant pain in the ass. I'm going to try to get it up by Friday. possibly by next week, maybe Monday. We'll have to see. I have been having problems with crashing and lags. Very curious. About halfway through the video yesterday, my editing program completely froze up. I was scared to death once I got the phone shut down and fired back up. It had erased everything I'd done, and luckily it didn't. It erased maybe 5 minutes that I was adding to it when it locked up. So that's kind of weird that we're having technical difficulties trying to edit the investigation. I have an LPAT. I'll add you on the nice list. Okay. Awesome. I have absolutely no problem coming in and joining you guys. Literally same thing happened to me. I was freaking out. Yeah, my old editing program used to do it all the time. It would freeze up constantly when the production got too long. It would start lagging and wanting to freeze up, and it'd lock down the phone. I'd have to restart, hit all 3 buttons at the same time and restart it. And it's I've never had a problem with it, but this one video, it was a big pain in the butt. Mikey, good to see you, bud. Good to see you. We just done the premiere just a few minutes ago. I ended that live stream and fired this one up. So it's on the channel now of Henderson Castle in Kalamazoo. We didn't get a chance to do the Masonic Temple. That's why I didn't get a hold of you on Sunday. But when we do that Masonic Temple, I want you to come along with us, being a Mason yourself. And then having Danny, who's also a Mason, and possibly Andrew, who's also a Mason. I like when we do the Masonic lodges, I like having actual Masons there. That way, if we get the right type of responses to our questions, they know by whatever is said on the voice on the spirit box whether or not it's an actual Masonic response or something. I know a few of the greetings or things that are said to identify one Mason or another, but I don't know a lot of them. I know a lot of the older ones, or I mean a lot of the newer ones. I wouldn't know if I was talking to a Mason from 100 years ago or not. I must be on the naughty list. That's because you're a bad girl. You're a bad girl. Templar, good to see you again, and so soon. I'm looking for Masons to come on my channel and talk about the Masons. It's again a complete accident. I found you. Well, I'm glad you did, bud. I'm glad you did, because I sent you that link the other day, and then when I done the I done that advertisement earlier today for the premiere of the Henderson Castle investigation video. I made sure and hit you and Brenda both up on Messenger when I was posting it on Facebook, so you guys would get it on your Facebook pages as well. You said that in a good way. That's because I meant it in a good way. You're just bad. I know how you Southern women are. I spent enough time living down south. Ornery as cat poop and twice as much fun. I have one of the oldest Masonic temples in Scotland right next to my house. Very, now see, I like that. That's very cool. I want to go to the church there in Scotland that's got all the Templar insignias and stuff all over it. That interests me a lot. I've always been very big into the Templars and the Templar Masonic connection. I don't know. I'm from Massachusetts, though. Yeah, it don't matter. You live in Carolina now. You're a Carolina girl. You should have stayed as late as we did. It started to get real crazy. I think we honestly brought way too many people this time. Once we got secluded, less people. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I noticed in the King room. Once I got separated and isolated myself and shut out all the lights and just had the equipment going, I started getting a lot more. And I'm sorry that the volume is so weird. I can't really control what you guys hear and don't hear on your end. So if you didn't hear the EVP responses and stuff, go back again and crank your volume up and listen, or put on a pair of headphones and listen, because there's a lot I didn't get. You could hear things, but I couldn't make them out, and the word recognition couldn't make them out. They were so soft. So yeah, Rosslyn Chapel. That's it. Rosslyn Chapel. That place has fascinated me since the very first time that I ever seen a video or anything about it. My family's 30 miles from you. Okay. My family is historically deeply involved in the real Templars, as well as being Masons. Well, and see, that's I'll probably be hunted down after I say this, but that's one of the things that got me interested in the Masons, was the fact of knowing that my grandfather went to a Masonic temple every week to meet his friends, but knowing that my grandfather's ring had a Templar cross on it. It didn't have the Masonic symbol. It had a Templar cross, a red Templar cross on it. So that was always a very big curiosity, why when I met my grandfather's friends, they all had Masonic symbols on their rings, but my grandfather had a big red cross. So my two grandfathers were Scottish Freemasons, and my uncles knew Kumura Bureau. Take you. Sounds good, Chris. I would absolutely love that. I wish that it would be possible to make arrangements to be in the church after dark. I think a nighttime investigation of Rosslyn Chapel would be just absolutely incredible. But if Scotland is anything like America is about its historic landmarks and stuff, yeah, once a certain time rolls around, the police are there every 5 minutes checking to make sure nothing's going on. I'm trying to get into Masons here. BCC. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've already voiced an interest in joining the Masons. We've had Masons in my family since before we came to this country. And I'm the only one in I'm the first generation that hasn't had at least one Mason in it. My dad was never a Mason, but my uncle was a Mason. And when my grandfather passed away in '83, my uncle got his ring and got it resized and started wearing his ring. You can get in, but you know the right person, you, you will get in. I know a few guys. Well, conditions may apply according to each temple and its rule as far as its members outline. Oh, okay. Never took them up on it. Huh. And you know, there's a lot of stories about the Masonic Lodge and Masonic Fellowship. Um, I used to live in a town where almost all the judges were Masons. The chief of the county sheriff's department, the top dog was a Mason. Um, a lot of your older attorneys were Masons. And I mean, depending on the severity of the crime, I've seen some people I thought that should serve a couple years in jail um, walked because when they showed up to court, they were wearing their Masonic ring, and there was a big stink in the newspaper, probably 13 or 14, maybe 15 years ago, about the secrets, the secret society that was above the law. So I mean, you know, you get all kinds of malarkey going on, and I don't know. My neighbor was Mason. It's a small town, so I'm hoping to be able to join. It's not for me, but I can get in no problem. I go to the lodge all the time, but I just don't fancy it. Oh. So, so does anybody have any questions about the investigation, about Henderson Castle? Um, Sadly, and I hated to do it, but I had to cut out about half of Danny's history, um, because when Danny goes into the history of something, he is even more thorough than Mark is, and I never thought I would ever find anybody like that. I sat and recorded every single thing um, that Danny said, and it was like 28 and a half minutes long. And it's like, oh, holy crap, this video is going to be an hour and 15 minutes if I don't fish through it and find the good stuff. And I actually am thinking about, I'm actually thinking about making a video of just the history of Henderson Castle. Let me see here. I'm sure it's happened, but it's relative to most society clubs. It's correct. A lot of malarkey. A lot of malarkey. Hey, Paul. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well tonight. Oh, don't apologize for having a passion like that, dude. When I'm doing the reenactments and stuff, and I'm speaking on Education Day to the kids, you know, I got to keep them enthralled for, you know, 15, 20, 25 minutes, sometimes a half hour, depending upon how slow the pack is ahead of them and behind them. So having that passion to know that history, dude, there ain't nothing wrong with that. If you do that video, let's do that together for sure. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. If nothing else, I'll put us sitting side by side right in one of the in the foyer on the staircase or something like that. While you're talking about the history, yeah, That's easy to do. So, like I said earlier, I hope you guys are all doing well tonight. I hope you enjoyed the premiere of the Henderson Castle um, investigation. Hey, JC, you snuck in on me when I was looking at the camera. Hope you're doing good tonight. It was a very interesting and a very fulfilling investigation. It's on the channel now, Paul. Um, Only because I'm new to premiering videos on StreamYard, I had to set up the premiere in its own personal video and then start this one just a couple minutes after the other one ended. So it's posted on the channel and able to be watched at any time. Gonna run, brother. Good to see you. I'll get with you very soon. Sounds good, Mike. Hey, Christmas is coming up in 11 days, dude. We got to sit down and figure out the game plan for Christmas Day. So tell Miss Brenda I said Hattie, and I'll talk to you in the next couple days or something. Let me see here. Good night, bub. First thing I put on my channel was a premiere. I jump in head first. I shop till I drop today. Hey, country girl. Hey, what? Good to see you guys. Nothing special. Sam's Club. I think that's where we're going to wind up having to go to get most of our stuff. We're down to 11 days, and we won't even get a chance. If we even have the money to go Christmas shopping, we're not going to have a chance to do it until Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So it's going to cut us down even more. That's why we normally get all of our Amazon stuff taken care of in like November. So we don't got to worry about the rush trying to get find stuff. My God, I don't think we've been to a store Christmas shopping in probably 4 years. Bleep. Rescued by KFC. You actually got a KFC still open down there? All of ours have closed down in this area. Are really busy KFCs just completely shut down. They locked their doors. I don't know what's going on. I never heard anything about them going out of business, but man, I'll tell you what, you can't find one around here. Maybe in the bigger cities still, but that's it. I sent out Mary's birthday card on the 2nd. She still hasn't gotten it. Yeah, that's what I mean. We're not even going to try. We're not even going to try to do anything mail order this year. Number one, we didn't have the money in time to do it. We really honestly still don't. I didn't realize how bad losing the original channel that I was actually monetized on. I didn't realize how bad that was going to affect us, because it wasn't a lot of money. You know, it was a couple $100 a month is all I was bringing in. I think $240 was the most I brought in a year and a half of monetization at one time. But you don't realize until you need it for a holiday or a birthday or something, how much that money means to you. Have one about 18 miles from me. Portage has one. Yeah. We used to have one right down here on the way to Mishawaka and South Bend, but down in Granger, Indiana, but not anymore. They closed that puppy down. And it's a shame too, because I love those 11 original herbs and spices. Have a great night, brother. I'll talk to you soon. All right, Danny. You take care of yourself, bud. Have a good evening. Thank you again for getting that investigation squared away with Francois. It was epic, dude. I loved it. I'm ready to go back again. I'm ready to go back again. Much love and respect to you, brother. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Tell your beautiful wife I said hello. It has been a tough year, Paul. You are not kidding. It has been a tough year. Yeah, I appreciate that, Danny. It was by far one of our best, if not our best investigation yet. I just can't wait to see what else you've got shoved up your sleeves. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. We got about 39 minutes left. I'm going to end this puppy at 9 o'clock tonight. Only because it's not a regularly scheduled evening. So I had like a 3-minute break. I'm going to get back to this video now. God help me from killing someone. It'll be all right, Tommy. You'll get it figured out. Your videos have been getting better and better each and every time you release one. So I think you'll get it all figured out. Just goes to show you kids are still teachable. Yep, 2022 is coming fast. It is coming fast. I know I said it this time last year, but I'm going to say it again. May 2022 be a hell of a lot brighter for us than 2021 was. And in 365 days, I'll be saying almost the same thing again. My tribe has a celebration only on even years. Maybe I'll go to Alaska. Winding down from a road trip. There you go. Alaska's a heck of a jog. But you just got that SUV all nice and fixed up and everything. I think she deserves a road trip. Sunroof, 75 degrees, no problem. Believe it or not, it's almost 50 degrees here right now. It's 48 degrees here right now, and it does not feel chilly outside at all. This is definitely not a normal December 14th. Ralph Lauren shades. Oh, that should be fun. JCB rolling up into Alaska, back to the village she was born in, looking like a Hollywood celebrity in her SUV with her shades on. Oh, 31. Well, send it back over here, Paul. I don't like these no coat temperatures in December. It's almost Christmas time. I want it to feel and look like it's almost Christmas time. The way it normally goes here, for those of you that have never been to Michigan before, we'll get a spattering of snow on and off most of November up through December. In recent years, we've had flurries on Christmas, and that's about the extent of it. And then usually the second week of January, we get blasted either by frigid Arctic temperatures or feet of snow falling in a 24-hour period. So I don't know if we have a marine highway anymore. Good point. Silly 61 in Arizona. Brr. Hey, Dragon. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good tonight. I think I can go on, kill that coffee pot now. Well, we'll see by tomorrow morning how many views that premiere got. I really thought we'd have a lot more people there. When I done the advertisement this afternoon, telling people about the premiere, I think I posted it on 36 paranormal pages on Facebook. So here I'm at work. I'll be lurking. Don't tell my boss. You got it. It's our little secret. Just continue to look innocent and you'll be fine. It was really nice on that investigation to have, yeah, Randy Statler from Randy's Real Paranormal, right here on YouTube. He's relatively new at doing paranormal investigations. When I came out of isolation in the King Room upstairs, Randy was in the dance hall doing his own voice box session and stuff. And it was he knows his business. He's coming into it. He's apparently observed quite a few investigators and investigative teams. He knows what questions to ask. He doesn't get forceful. He makes simple requests. Very, very cool dude. I can't wait to do something else with him again. Of course, we had another friend of Tommy's named Haven from Illinois. She actually drove 3.5 hours one way to join us for that investigation. And it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm hoping to have her on more investigations, possibly a live stream in the future. It's amazing how the new people are handling themselves so well at these investigations. I'm always innocent. Just Beth had corrupted. There you go. Blame Beth. Hey, Brooklyn. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well tonight. Having an orange. Wonderful. Wonderful. I can't complain one bit. I've been feeling better. I've been really looking forward to that investigation. We done the premiere video before this one. It's posted on the channel now. Henderson Castle in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Amazing place. I was blown away, and it's like I told Danny earlier today. If we would have walked in that place and not got a single voice recording, got a single EVP, if we wouldn't have got a single EMF fluctuation, I would have been perfectly happy just studying the architecture of that place, the round rooms, the way they have converted it into a bed and breakfast, the way they've kept the original woodwork, and even the pieces they've had to replace in the mansion. They've replaced it with original pieces for that time period. The fireplace mantles, the mirrors, the chandeliers, the woodwork, everything is just exquisitely late 19th century. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know how Francois does it. 25 room bed and breakfast. It's unfathomable to think how much money he has sunk into keep the upkeep on that place. When we arrived there, the wait staff and the cooks were still there getting everything cleaned up, and they've got a heck of a staff. they've got a heck of a staff, especially on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock at night, and they're still in there just busting their butts getting that place closed up so they can get out of there. The bartender for the bar was closing up the bar. That's where we had the base station set up at, was on the big bar that they have in that place. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm having brandy. Coffee for me. I am finishing my last cup of coffee of the night. I'm going to switch back over to my Diet Dew, which, by the way, once again, if anybody here happens to work for PepsiCo, I'm looking for a sponsor. You know. It truly is. It truly is a beautiful place. I mean, I built houses for 30 years, but my love was always primitive architecture. Um, how intricately two logs were spliced together to form a cabin, or how these men would take axes and they would make planks with axes that were sometimes straighter than a sawmill cut. And it absolutely blows me away that they can do woodworking and stuff 120 years ago, 123, 124 years ago, that's prettier than the stuff you have today with primitive equipment. They didn't have power tools and stuff like that. This stuff was done by hand, y'all. This stuff was done by mallets and chisels and things like that. I mean, it's just, I'm doing something wrong sitting here with water. Hell, if anyone here works for E&J, I'm looking for a sponsor as well. Dragon, you know, I wish I could get my hands on Black Rifle coffee. Money's just too tight. Money's just too tight. I mean, I would love to. I've had Black Rifle coffee before. I had a friend give me a bag of it, and we drank it at the reenactments for probably a month. But I can get three 3-pound cans of my coffee for what a 1 pound bag of, or a 2 pound bag of Black Rifle costs. So, but as for having Black Rifle as a sponsor, shoot, you better bet your bippy, man. I'm a big fan of theirs. I'm a big fan of their message, of the things they do for veterans. Not to mention their videos. I laugh my butt off at their videos. I used to do remodeling on the old houses, tried to make it as close to the original as possible. We grew up, when I was 12 years old, we bought a house that was a little over 100 years old. And my grandfather, dying of cancer, used to go out, and or he would, when we were remodeling the house, he would lay the broken pieces of woodwork and stuff, door trim and everything, out on his sawhorses, and he would measure this and measure that, and he'd take a caliper and he'd measure the distance of this groove and that groove, and you know, he could make it reasonably close, but it wasn't anywhere close to what it was in, you know, 1890 when that woodwork was on there. But he was damn good at what he done. For those of you that know anything about Indiana, Taylor University in Upland, Indiana, my grandfather owned the construction company that built all the buildings on Taylor University from like 1968 to 1978. I remember going with my grandmother and pulling up 50 feet below where my grandfather was walking along the top of the building. He'd look down at us and just wave. My grandmother would be holding that big, ugly charcoal gray plastic lunchbox and a thermos. And 3 or 4 minutes later, here he was walking out the front door to sit on the hood of the LTD with us. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching these buildings go up. And I think that's what really got me interested in construction. But when he was remodeling some of the old houses and stuff is what really got me popped into that primitive architecture thing. I like their Christmas songs they do. Black Rifle's just fun all the way around. Beth says she's a real cheap date. Wow. Beth. Know what we're going to do with you, woman. I swear to God. Yeah, I love their videos too. It's just, I sit here and I laugh whenever they release a new video or something. Oh, really? You're in Indiana, Dragon? I didn't know that. Without going into too much detail, where in Indiana are you at? Oh, there's crunchies in the bottom of that one. It's like going to the beach and getting a mouthful of sand. Spent about 7 years as a farmer in the Pocono Mountains. Very cool. That is true, Beth. That's very true. And you make a really good point. Somebody said something the other day about, I remember what it was. We had somebody come in here that had taken somebody else's thumbnail and took their name and was pretending to be them. And they kept saying, that's not the real person. That's not the real person. It's like, oh, I know, but they're not causing any trouble yet. So I'm not going to say anything to them. When they start being rude or mistreating the women or being socially unacceptable, then we'll block them. But, after you've talked to people for 6 months or 8 months or a year, you kind of learn their mannerisms a little bit. Northwest Indiana, about a mile south of the Kankakee River. Trying to get an idea here. Because, see, I'm only about, you remember that jackass? Yeah, the one that was trying to be Richie. Trying to be Richie right. And he was Richie wrong. Dragon, I'm only about 45 minutes south or 40 minutes north of South Bend. I'm only, 20 minutes into Michigan, just a little bit northeast of South Bend. Let me get my direction right because the screen is going to be backwards. Me, South Bend, and Elkhart form a triangle. It sucked when you had to shovel snow just to start working. Who were they pretending to be? I know. I have a clue. And they were pretending to be Richie Wright. And of course, you know, we've all, anybody that hangs out with Richie or Kenneth Kentucky Fam or any of those guys, we've all had a fake Noel pop in. But I think I was the first to have a fake Richie. It was right after my channel went down. And I really honestly kind of believe what they were saying when they said they were the ones that got my channel pulled down. So, yep, I just let bygones be bygones. Fate has a nasty way of sneaking up behind you and breaking it off in you. So I'm just waiting. And there was a jackass Belle Delphine clone. Yeah, I remember Belle Delphine. It would have been nice if that was actually Belle Delphine. Her 20 million subscribers and stuff like that would have been a real good boost for the channel. Here's a hint. Ponderosa Sun Club, Naked City, plane crash on Halloween. No, still not ringing a bell. My clone is how Boomer and I become friends. Well, that's always a good thing. At least a friend came out of it. You know, and I agree with you, Adam. We really don't need we don't need negative people. We don't need people who are pretending to be somebody else. But you know, I guess I have a completely unique way of looking at those people when they come in, because regardless of who they are or aren't in real life, their views still count. Their views still count. So, you know, we took care of the Richie when he started to get rude. We bumped him out of there, and you know, their views still count. They still get you a little bigger. They get a little bit more attention. They get your videos sent out a little more. So as long as they're not being rude, crude, or socially unacceptable, have fun, boys and girls. A very wise man who y'all know, who has mentored me on a lot of my editing and my green screening and stuff like that, kind of taught me that. As long as they're not being bungholes, let them have fun. Let them do their thing. When they start to act up, boot them. Their views still count. You're way nicer than me. I get a bit sharp in the tongue with folks like that. We also have Lakeburg twins buried in our cemetery. It was a big story years ago. I'm gonna have to think on that, Dragon. I think I know where you're talking about, but or the roundabout area where you're talking about, but I would have to think on that one a bit. It's been a while since I've been down that way. I don't without me driving, I don't ever get the chance to really leave the house unless me and the wife are going somewhere or we have an investigation to go to. So I don't really get out and around all that much. Oh, DeMont was close. All right, boys and girls, we got us about 11 minutes left. Of course, I will be back on tomorrow morning with morning coffee and chat, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and we'll shoot the breeze for a while. Well, the Kankakee River also goes down right past a location, right on the edge of a property that I used to do. Well, I still do several encampments at um, during the summer months down in Fulton County, Indiana, about an hour and a half south of South Bend. Fulton County Historical Society. They do 3 events a year out there: one Civil War event, 2 Mountain Man events, and the Kankakee River runs right along the south edge of that property. So Kankakee is a pretty good sized river. On I-65, there's a sign that reads "Hell is real." I'm just south of that. Okay, let me see here. Better hints, better hints. You're south of Madeireville, Indiana. Um, just south of hell. Yeah, that's a hell of a thing to brag about right there. Whereabouts you from? Ah, just south of hell. Speaking of which, that's another place I'd like to go to next summer if we could figure it out. It's going to be an overnight stay only because it's so far north. But I'd like to take the team and go to Hell, Michigan. No, guys. I think that'd be a good investigation. There's a lot of empty, abandoned places around Hell, Michigan. Um, Not to mention, could you imagine? Could you imagine the thumbnail of me sitting at a poker table with the devil, and the title of the video is "My wife told me to go to hell, and I took her literal." 7 miles south of the reenactment. Well, let's see here. That's going to put you in between Rochester and Peru. Um, so, yeah, Nice roundabout place. I'm surprised I've not seen you at one of them reenactments there, sir. It would be a hell of a trip. You are correct. There's a lot of places in Indiana and Michigan I'd still like to go to. I know we're going to go um, down to one of the cemeteries in Peru, Indiana, in 2022. Mike, that was in here earlier, he has got he comes from Peru, Indiana. He used to be a police officer in Peru, Indiana. He was a correctional officer in Peru, Indiana, and he's got several ancestors buried out there from the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. So I know we're going to go down there and investigate some of his family graves. A few other places around Indiana I'd like to hit. And of course, Michigan. We'll just have to see what 2022 brings, how fast the channel grows, whether they'll allow me to get monetized again. That's my biggest fear, is that I hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, and because my channel was yanked before, even though it was false accusations, that they're not going to let me get remonetized, which means I'm going to have to rely on views to get paid. Views and donations and views and donations. Yep. When the plane crashed on Halloween, the news reporter said we were the hellhole of America. Wow. Too cold for me, no way in hell I'd be there. At least in the summertime, it's nice. I wouldn't go up there in the wintertime. Sunny, that is a regular member here. I know most people that have been on here for a while know Sunny. She lives 3.5 hours northwest or northeast of me in Michigan, and they've got much colder temperatures than we do. They have already got a lot more snow than we have. We've had maybe 8 snows so far this year, and none of them have been over like an inch and a half. You won't see me traveling to central Michigan during the wintertime. No way in hell. Oh yeah, I know, Adam. I was a desert rat too, man. I hear everybody talking about the Southwest and how ungodly hot it is and stuff like that. And I look at how Santee dresses in his videos, whether it's July or December. And, you know, he's got a long sleeve shirt on, or he's got a light jacket or a long sleeve shirt with a t-shirt on under it. And that's exactly how I was in Texas. I was walking around in a Levi jacket and a t-shirt, or I had on some of my cowboy gear with vest, and yeah, that stuff don't bother me. I love it. I'll take 122 with 25% humidity over snow. Most definitely. Because when you only got 25% humidity, 122 feels a lot more like 89. When I went to Arizona, I went outside to warm up. I used to work outside in Texas. When I right before I left Texas, I was working as a security guard on the west side of Houston, and I was in body armor and black, be it night or day, 100 and 105, 110 degrees. And I was fine. When I first got in Texas, I worked as a cab driver. Get to meet a lot of people. Don't get to experience much temperature, because when they get in the cab, they want the air conditioner on. When I was in there alone, I had the windows rolled down. Hi, Richie. Hope you're doing good, Richie. I used to work at a blueberry field and deliver the berries to Michigan. Now that's the job to have. Endless supply of snacks. I work outside, so no AC for me. Of course, I'd have like, $500 a month air conditioner bills with my wife down there, because even in the middle of the winter, she has got the window open and got the fan on. So yeah, I'd be going outside finding stuff to do. Oh, we're doing. Hey, fishing. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. We done the debut or the premiere of the investigation from Sunday night right before this one. It's in a separate video or a separate live stream. Um, Tomorrow I get to educate myself on how to actually be in the live stream and premiere a video in the same stream. So that way, when the video ends, the stream don't have to end. But we're making it. We're making it. I'm doing good, Richie. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, bud. I'm doing good. But all right, guys, it is that time. It is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of magical reindeer and fly away. So, like I said, I will be back on tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm planning on being on tomorrow evening as well, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not doing anything in the morning and you want to wake up with a laugh, come in the morning chat and coffee with us. It'll be an experience. But all right, guys, I am going to hit it, go spend some time with the wifey poo. You guys all have a good evening and enjoy yourselves, guys. Life's too short not to. But I will catch you all. Oh, yeah, I know. I done tagged it. Done tagged a troll. But you guys all have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. And we'll catch you all in the morning. You too, Richie. Take care, bud. Much love to you too, Beth. Fishing, Adam, Richie, Beth. Who else we got in here? Dragon. Brooklyn, if she's still here. Templar. Trying to cover everybody. JC. You guys all have a good evening, and we'll catch you in the morning. Till then, sleep well. See y'all tomorrow.